So just wanted to say a few quick words here. Good evening and welcome everyone. We're so thankful you took some time to join here this evening for the first of what we expect to be many community events here run by the Ole Valley Community Education Foundation. My name's Kelsey. I'm one of the trustees on the foundation, and we're very excited to be bringing these sessions to the community just to help with engagement and enrichment outside of our work that's supplemented in the school district. So we had reached out to the community a little while back as a foundation and just inquired about what information would be useful or helpful during this time. And with everything going on in the world, not surprising, many people had stated mindfulness or self-awareness and mental health was front of mind. So we're excited to involve Cammie in this discussion here today. As she shared with us a bit there, she is the founder and director of Aqua on Paddle, stand-up paddleboard company and yoga company in our local area. She's a certified yoga instructor and teaches yoga and meditation in our communities, and definitely knows her stuff as far as mindfulness and relaxation go. So Cammie, again, we're so thankful to have you join us. And I think if we're ready to start this discussion, we are looking forward to sitting back and relaxing with you.
Okay, awesome. So let me, mute Kelly. Oh, you muted yourself. Perfect. All right. So we had said you can sit on the floor. It is more comfortable for me to sit on the floor. If you want to sit on a sofa or a chair, that's fine too. Sometimes I like to take a nice thick blanket and just kind of sit on that a little bit. It's a little more comfortable for hips if your hips are tight. So you can try that if you'd like. And just to talk about this mindfulness. So yes, everybody is stressed out. These are weird times and we need to relax. And the funny thing is, a lot of the stress that we have and this tension that we create in our body, we create it. We do this to ourselves. We're worrying about things that are happening in the future. They haven't happened yet. They haven't become a problem yet, but already in our head, we're preparing. What if it is a problem? We also take things that have already happened and we cannot do anything about them. And we obsess and we ruminate over them and we just build that stress and that, I call it a beehive in your mind. Some people refer to it as a monkey mind as well. So, these are things trying to eliminate that, stop worrying about that or stop worrying about what's going to happen. Easier said than done, right? When I began meditating, everyone tells you how good it is. You just sit there, and the more that I tried to not think about all the things that stressed me out, that's all I did was thinking about them. And I would sit there for those 10 painful minutes and be like, 9 minutes left, 8 minutes left, and counting it down, which was not peaceful at all. So what I'd like to do is just give you some tools, things that I use in my classes, some in my yoga classes, some in my meditation classes. And these are things you can do all together in this 40 minutes that I'm going to do for you, or you can just even do them piece by piece throughout your day, to start your day, in the middle of it, or at the end, to calm yourself down and relax. So what we're going to start with is breathing. Now, yes, we all know how to breathe, but we don't really breathe efficiently, and sometimes the way that we breathe can actually induce stress in our body. So if you feel comfortable, I would like you just to close your eyes and just observe when you take a breath, is it in through your nose or mouth? Now, what about when you exhale naturally, not changing anything? Do you exhale through your nose or your mouth? Now just keep taking more of these breaths and observing them. What about the front of your body? Does anything move? Does anything rise? Does anything fall? You may have to take a breath or two to notice. Now what about the exhale? Does any part of your body move? And what is it doing? So I'm not going to ask you to show your hands to tell me what you were feeling, but some of you may be breathing just in the belly, and that belly expands when you inhale and it pulls in when you exhale. If you are seeing that, thumbs up. You are doing great. Maybe you have noticed that you are breathing just here up in the chest, that the belly really wasn't moving. So if you're doing that chest breathing, you're really not getting your full inhale that you can take. So that's what we're going to work on. I'd like you to put your hands on your belly here. Let your eyes be closed and take a breath and imagine you're filling up a balloon. Your belly's the balloon. See how much you can expand it. Now, as you exhale, try to pull your belly button all the way back to your spine like you were trying to touch it. Good. Inhale, expand. Exhale, deflate. Now keep this up. But I want you to try to inhale just through the nose. And then exhale out through the nose. So again, eyes can stay closed. Just notice that breath coming in and out. Now I know some of you have shared you've got people in your house, maybe they're playing video games, maybe your kids are calling you or dogs are barking. So it's really hard to be relaxed. The best advice I can give you is make your breath louder than anything around you and any thoughts you may be having. The louder that breath is in and out through your nose, and the more you listen to it, the harder it is to focus on anything else. So let's try it again. Hands can rest on your belly, or if you feel like you have that belly thing going, you can just let them hang out here on your lap. Let's let our eyes be soft. Inhale through the nose and out through the nose. In and out. Now I want you to keep doing this and maybe notice how many seconds is your inhale. 3, 4, 5 seconds. Longer isn't better. Just observe and notice yours. Now I'd like you to take notice of your exhale. How many seconds is that? So whatever your number is, I'd like you to try to have the same length of your inhale as you do of your exhale. Try to match the breath in length. Now see if you can just extend your inhale and your exhale 1 second longer. Listen to that breath coming in and out. Okay, so try to keep breathing like that even though I'm not cueing it. And it's hard. It probably took me about 5 years to naturally breathe that way without focusing on it. But if you think we just sat here for 2 minutes and just breathed. We didn't email anyone. We didn't doom scroll on Facebook. We didn't watch TV. We just breathed. And that was 2 minutes. If you could take 2 minutes out of your day to do that, it will make you feel better exponentially already. So now I'd like to create a little movement along with this. So I want you to take your head and just turn it over towards your right shoulder. Not as far as you can go, just kind of gaze over there. And then employ those deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. Notice, can you feel the air going up and down the left side of your throat? Keep your breath going, and let's turn the chin over to the left here. Same thing. Notice the breath. Can you feel it falling down the body and rising back up? So we're just going to turn our head side to side, not fast. Keep it at a moderate pace. Keep that breath going. And I want you to just observe, does one side feel a little tighter than the other? Do you have more mobility on one side? Good. All right, let's relax it back in the center, face it in the center. So working on our posture here, we've got these bones in our butt, and yogis call them sits bones. So whatever you're sitting on, blanket, floor, chair, see if you can just kind of feel those bones. Sometimes you have to move a little skin out of the way to find them. That's okay. And I want you to try to grow your spine from your hips upward. Take a nice exhale and really relax those shoulders consciously. Ah, nice. Take a nice big inhale through the nose. Now, as you exhale, slowly release your chin and bring it down to the chest. And just notice, how do you feel there? Where do you feel the stretch in your back, in your shoulders, in your neck? Big inhale. Exhale out. Good. Now let's bring our chin upward. Tip it up towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch maybe on the front of your throat like it's pulling forward. Can you feel the air rushing up and down? Now with your own speed, eyes can be closed if you prefer. Just let that head go down towards the chest, nice and slow, and then lift it back up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can move the head in time with your breath. Now the next time your chin is down here on your chest, I want you to kind of keep it there. And I want you just to pretend that you're going to draw a half circle in the front of your chest and take it over towards the right shoulder. And then drag it across and take it over to the left. So this is a different angle of movement in our neck. We're releasing tension here. And again, maybe you notice, does one side feel a little more sore than the other? Good. Now take your chin back upward. Stretch the throat forward, drop the shoulders, and now trace your nose across the ceiling, right to left. Back and forth while you breathe. Good. All right, let's bring it back to center. So one more neck stretch that we're going to do. Let's turn our head over to the right where we had it the first time. And then just look down towards your right thigh. Reach the chin to your chest and just gaze downward. You may feel a nice little stretch on the left side of your neck. Take a big exhale. Relax the shoulders. One more breath. Good. Bring it back up. And let's go to the other side. Over to the left. And when you exhale, let's look down at the thigh. Good. Take a big breath. and bring it back up. So this area, this neck and shoulder area is so important because if you work on a computer or if you're probably online like this or over your phone, and even throughout the day, if you're not on any sort of electronic device, all the tension and stress we feel starts lifting those shoulders up. And before we know it, they're up in our ears and we wonder why we have a headache. So we're going to loosen up that area. I want you to take those shoulders and just lift them up, pull them up to your ears, and now drop them down as low as you can go. Good. Maybe take an inhale, lift them up. Exhale, drop the shoulders. Good, and again. Exhale, drop. Now you can keep doing that, or maybe you'd like to try to roll them backwards. And as you're doing that, maybe feel that heart lifting forward. Inhale as you lift them up. Exhale as you roll them down. Now we're going to reverse that movement. So pull them back, up, and then lower them. And using that breath, making it louder than any distractors. Awesome. Okay. And we're going to now do the 5 directions of the spine. So yes, I'm a yoga teacher and I do yoga every day. That's really unrealistic for most people and for most people's lives. I totally get it. So I do it because it's my job to do it. But if you are experiencing any sort of back pain, I challenge you to do the 5 directions of the spine every day when you wake up. It'll take you 2 minutes. And I guarantee after 2 weeks, you're going to see a difference in that. So our first direction of the spine is right here, neutral spine. We're doing it. Noticing those sits bones, tall spine, shoulders relaxed. That's one. The second one is lateral bends, side bends. Just let your right hand come down to the floor if you're seated on it, or if you're in a chair, you could even hold on to the bottom of the right side of the chair. We're going to bring our left arm to the biceps right next to the ear. I don't want you to worry about as far as you can go. Stretch from your bottom rib up to your hands. Create a little space there. And just pause when you feel like you've reached your limit. Now, as you take a deep breath, sorry, a little tongue-tied, I want you to try to see if you can breathe over here into the left side of your ribs. It's like you're mentally expanding that space. Good. Now we're going to float over to the other side. Left hand down, right one up. And then lift from that bottom rib all the way to the wrist. Good. Take a deep breath in the right side of your ribs. Exhale and come back down. So there's direction number 2, lateral bends. The third direction we're going to do is a twist. And this is one of my favorite spinal directions because I have recently discovered it is super helpful with heartburn. So if you suffer from heartburn, which I sometimes do, this is a good practice to employ after you eat. It will really help relieve that. So we're going to take our right hand and just bring that kind of right behind our right hip. And then let your left hand float over to your leg or to the thigh. Relax those shoulders. And we're just going to begin to twist our spine so we can gaze over to the right. It doesn't have to be as far as you can go. That's not the point. Now employ those deep belly breaths. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, pull that belly button in. 2 more times. 1 more. Good, now release from it. Same thing on the left. Start with the left hand, bring the right one over, and a little gentle twist. 3 breaths, nice and slow. One more. Good. Exhale and unwind. All right. So our 4th breath, if you are seated on the floor, you may just want to let your legs straighten out in front of you. If you're in a chair, your feet can just stay down the ground. So everyone put your hands on your thighs. So as we take an exhale, I want you to try to draw the elbows past the hips and take your heart and lift it up. Lift the chin, lift the throat. Good, that's a little mini back bend. Now here's our forward fold. Let the hands slide over the thighs. And imagine someone just punched your belly and press your spine behind you. Good, inhale, back bend. Lift the heart, pull those elbows back. Exhale. Let the spine reach behind you, head drops. So let's do this 3 more times. Okay, that's it. Those are your 5 spinal directions. I challenge you, once a day, 2 weeks, you can email me if I'm wrong, if your back doesn't improve. So we're now going to come down to our backs. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can stay seated in your chair, but feel free to lay down your carpet or on your sofa. It may be helpful to have a blanket with you, might need some support somewhere. And if you are following me and lying down, I'd like you to make your feet a little bit wider than the hips, knees bent, and just let those knees knock together so they can rest on each other. Everything else, just allow yourself to rest down on the ground. All right, palms can just face up, facing the ceiling. And allow your eyes to close if you feel comfortable. Now again, try to return to that breath. Inhale through your nose, pull it down to the belly. Exhale, pull the belly button in and press all the air out. Inhale. And exhale. See if you can create the same length of inhale as you do your exhale. Now, as you're breathing here, I'd like you to notice your back. What parts of your back press into the mat as you inhale? How does that change as you exhale? What about the front of your body? Observe it mentally. Feel what's happening. Now, the next time your belly is completely full, see if you can suck in just a little more air and expand your lungs. Let the ribs slide apart from each other. Kind of like that lifting of the chest part. Inhale, belly, chest expands. Exhale, chest, belly, deflate. So this is now called 3-part breath. So we're going to become a little bit more relaxed. I'd like you to let your legs straighten out. Let your toes flop out to the side, no effort in them. We're now going to go into what's called a body scan. And this is something that I use to help me go to sleep most nights. So if you're laying in bed and you're worrying about all these things you have to do tomorrow, this may help you. Start with the breath. I want you to notice the temperature of air as it comes in through your nostrils. Now I want you to notice how that temperature changes as you exhale. Check in with your face. Can you relax your cheeks a little bit more? What about the shoulders? Are you holding them up? Can you allow them to become heavy and just soften down into the surface you're lying on? Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now we're not going to be moving any body parts. Anything that I cue, I want you to notice and feel it mentally. So draw your awareness down to your big toes. Can you feel the cool air around your big toe? Maybe you're wearing socks and you can feel the texture of your sock against the skin of your big toe. Just notice it. Now see if you can feel the toe from the inside out. Take that awareness and now do the same thing with the second toe. Feel it from the inside, feel it from the outside. Third toe. Fourth toe. And pinky. Feel the spot on each foot where your toes are connected to it. Feel your heels on the ground heavily. Feel the texture of whatever is against your skin on your heels. Now, as you take an exhale, try to relax your ankles. Let go of that tension. Move your awareness to the back of the calves. Relax them. And as you take another slow, deep breath, move your awareness to the front of your lower legs. Relax them. Feel the top of your knee, the sides of your knee, the back of your knee. Relax the whole kneecap with your next exhale. Notice the whole thigh, front and back. Relax it. Feel your hips resting heavily against the floor or the chair that you're seated on. Relax the hips with your next exhale. Now feel your abdomen with your mind and notice, are you holding it in or is it soft so it can rise and fall with the breath? Make any adjustments you need. Feel your rib cage. Notice the sternum. See if you can allow that to open up wide with your next inhale. And then notice it close towards each other with your next exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Do the same thing. Move your awareness to your shoulders. Maybe notice the front of the shoulder where it's not touching the floor. And now feel the back of the shoulder where it is touching the floor if you're lying down. Relax your whole arm to your wrist. Now feel just the fingertips. Breathe into your fingertips. You notice a tingling, warmth, coldness, maybe even a heart beating in them. There's no right or wrong what you feel. It's just being mindful about what you observe in your body. Notice the palms of your hands. Relax them heavily. Now feel your throat. Let it be open so that air can rise and fall without effort. Notice your lips. Are they touching or are they apart? Feel the top row of your teeth and where they meet the gum. Do the same thing with the bottom row of your teeth. Now relax the whole inside of your mouth. Teeth, gum, tongue, and all the soft tissues. Notice the tip of your nose. Notice the eyelids closed over the eyes. And now feel the spot right between your eyebrows. Soften it. Spread your forehead. Now I want you to take the next minute that I'm going to give you in silence and see if you can feel all those body parts at once. Remember, if you get distracted, return the attention to the breath. Now, before we move and wrap up our session, I want you to really just rest in the stillness here and imagine, without moving, what it would be like to move your toes. Don't actually do it. Just how would it feel if it was happening? Now go ahead and actually move your toes slowly, maybe wiggling them, maybe rotating your ankles in circles, pointing the legs straight, flexing them, just any movement that feels right for you to do. And then just let those toes rest heavy whenever you're finished with that. And let's move to the fingers and the hands and the wrists. Imagine you just discovered you had hands. See what they can do. Now, if you are lying down on the ground like I am, I encourage you to roll over to your right side. You can keep your eyes closed, but just kind of curl up in this fetal position. Maybe the head can rest on your right arm. And just notice the breath. Feel the body rise and fall. And then real slowly, take your time, just gently come up and come into a seated position, whether it's crisscross or your legs are out to the side, whatever it is. So I hope your body's feeling a little bit better. And just to close this, I would like to share one more breathing technique for you. This is actually taught to people who have COPD and asthma. It's very good for if you're out of breath, if you just walked up the steps and you're huffing and puffing and there's someone next to you and you're totally embarrassed by it, this will help. I have used it. Also, if you feel like you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack and you just can't calm down, this is your go-to breath. So it starts the same way the other breaths do. Inhale through the nose deeply, but as you exhale, purse your lips like you're trying to blow a candle out, really slow. So we inhale like you're sniffing a rose and smelling it. And now make the exhale real slow, even longer than the inhale. Inhale completely, fill up the belly, fill up the chest. Close your eyes, slowly exhale through the mouth. Let's do it 2 more times. Okay, everyone. So I want to thank you for sticking with this and for having me here.